Hey everyone, I'm Carolyn. This is my political channel called As I See It, not my RV Life channel. How y'all holding up? We are in the final hours at the finish line. I know from talking to all my friends and everybody that I'm seeing online, we're having a crazy mix of anger and fear and hope and worry and anxiety and excitement. I mean, wow. Elections shouldn't be this stressful. Today I want to talk to you in this first video. I have all this nervous energy. I might end up making a couple videos. This video is for those who are considering voting third party. I saw a comment on my RV channel yesterday from someone who said, I don't know who's real and who's not. I am seeing a lot of unusual activity across across all of my social media platforms, brand new accounts on Threads especially. They've never sent a thread before. They're brand new accounts. They don't have pictures. And I have seen this all the years that I have been on social media. And since it is a proven fact that foreign governments hire people to pose as Americans in order to favor Donald Trump, proven fact, look it up. I'm not going to do the work for you. Go ahead and look it up. That is a proven fact. Since that is a fact, I don't know who's real and who's not. And sometimes I have to scratch my head and and a lot of times this is the reason I just block people, because I don't have the time or the energy to vet each and every of the thousands of comments I get to try to figure out who's a real person and who is a Russian plant. But this guy, I did suspect might be real, and I did go ahead and reply to him, but his comment was, I'm voting for third party. I can't support the two-party system anymore. I can't support the two-party system anymore, so I'm voting third party. My response to him was, okay, you're fed up with, I'm going to explain it to you a little longer. I left him like a one sentence, but basically this is what I heard. And my response was, I can't support a two-party system anymore, so instead I'm going to vote to elect a one-party system. Because that's what you're doing. We all know there's not a snowball chance in hell of a third party winning. And I said this in 2016 to my friends, personal friends who were voting for Donald Trump because they literally just wanted to blow up the system. And I understand that. The status quo, it has been failing. Things are not great in this country. We have rich people and super PACs and dark money and all kinds of crap in our politics. I admit that's really, really bad. But if we stop voting against our interests, maybe we can make change for that. But to blow up the system by electing a guy who is promising you, he's telling you who he is. It is not a joke when he says he wants to suspend the Constitution. It is not a joke when he says, I'm going to protect women whether they like it or not. It is not a joke when he is talking about putting guns in Liz Cheney's face. It is not a joke when he talks about rounding up millions of immigrants into camps and then deporting them. It is not a joke when he says he is going to be a dictator on day one. Let's talk about that. Number one, it's not a joke. It's not funny. Donald Trump shows you exactly who he is. I don't know how you can say you can pick and choose what to believe. Oh, he's just kidding about that. But I really believe it when this millionaire, silver spoon born in mouth guy who has ripped off every contractor, who has stolen from his own charities, who has shown and proven time and time again how racist he is, with that whole thing with the exonerated five, the whole thing about not renting apartments to black people. He has shown you over and over and over again throughout his life who he is, and yet you want to pick and choose his words. I may not like everything he says, but I like his policies. I like that he says he's going to deport immigrants. I like that he said he was going to build a wall which he only built like 5% of, and Mexico never paid for. When somebody jokes about being a dictator, when somebody jokes about murdering their adversaries, let's pretend for a second that it is a joke. Let's pretend for a second that he's just out there joking. Is this really somebody you want representing you on the world stage in international relations with other top leaders around the world? Somebody who is so out of control that he jokes about murder, that he jokes about suspending the Constitution, that he jokes about filleting a microphone?
So, I had to go. I came in today, and this is after, I'm a human being. So, I had to go.
He performed fellatio on his microphone. Is that who you want representing you in the world? So when you say you are tired of the two-party system, so you're going to vote third party, what you are doing and what you are telling me is that you are okay with electing a dictator, a fascist, somebody who has the emotional maturity of a 7-year-old, someone who has zero self-control. He just gets on stage and bleh, whatever comes out.
I went to a boat company in South Carolina. The boat, I said, how is it? He said, it's a problem, sir. They want us to make all electric boats. So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart.
So it's important to know he didn't actually go to MIT. He doesn't have a degree from MIT. He just thinks that a relationship, which he may or may not have, to MIT makes him a genius.
I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too, a lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted?
And you might think it's funny. You might think you can just say, yeah, well, that's just who Trump is. Is that who you want representing you in the world? The world is laughing at us. Everybody but the dictators. The dictators want him in office. If you pay attention to world politics, there is a right-wing movement, a dangerous, radical right-wing movement happening all over the world in Europe because they are funded by these dictatorships who just want chaos. Putin's not going to stop at Ukraine. China isn't going to stop making nuclear weapons. These people want world domination, and they are willing to cause chaos in democratic countries. And again, I'm not going to get into the whole history of Russia and KGB and Putin. I've talked about that before. They've always hated democracy, absolutely hated democracy. The whole Soviet Union and all of their communism and Marxism, they hated democracy. And again, it was the communism and Marxism under the former Soviet Union was a violent form of Marxism. It wasn't necessarily true Marxism, but that I did a video about that. I'll put it in it below so that you can learn more about Marxism and socialism and why I believe that we've never had pure Marxism or pure socialism, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. And even the people who got into power under the guise of communism became tyrants, drunk with their own power. And so I don't think the world has ever actually seen pure socialism, at least not in big, huge governments, maybe in like little tribes in Africa, maybe Native Americans and things like that. But that's another story. The point is, There are really dangerous dictators and oligarchs all around the world who want to throw a wrench, want to see democracy get destroyed, because then it validates all of their lies that they have been telling their people over the years in order to retain power. And we are seeing that play out in different countries all across Europe. We are seeing it play out here. Nobody wants Trump to win except the toxic oligarchs and fascists across the world who want world domination. Everybody who values democracy, who sees that democracy, while not perfect, is the way forward for humanity, for working people, they're laughing at us. They're laughing at Trump. They're scratching their head going, America, what are you doing? So a vote for a third party is a vote for one party. It's not going to do any good but send us further down this decline into fascism. And that's my thought. That's how I see it right now. That's my message for you. You got to vote Kamala Harris. You can't vote third party. You're voting for the end of democracy. Period. That's how I see it. Let me know how you see it. Leave your thoughts below. Anything you want to tell me, how you're feeling, what you're doing to cope with the next couple of days, let me know. And I have a lot of nervous energy. Don't be surprised if you hear from me again today. All right. Vote blue, vote blue, vote blue. Bye.